everybody. It's Kerri and
Suze.
And welcome to another semi-late night episode of We Might Get in Trouble for This Podcast, where we've been getting in trouble for the last few episodes for sure. And today is no exception. So how are you, my friend?
I am okay. I am very tired because I worked until 2 in the morning writing something and then worked all day. And then now I'm here. And I boiled pho for my kids. And then poured the boiling water in it and there was fly. So that's where I am.
But I mean, if you were in like a true Asian kitchen, they could have made that fly into something exotic and like served it to you for like a lot of money.
Possibly. Darn it. I should have gone with that rather than remaking everything.
Today we're talking about Gen X Diaries, Gen X Dating Diaries. And so I have a lot to catch you up on. Do you have any apologies?
Yes, I do. Because I think it was the previous episode I said grow a pair. And I would like to apologize, not to other people, whatever. I would like to apologize to God because it's not like, it's not becoming language, So I do feel a little bad about that. So I'm sorry. It is just such a good phrase,
I loved it. So I don't think that apology is warranted, but I will let you have it.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was that.
So, Susie, let me catch you up on the Gen X Dating Diaries of Kerri. Okay, so we left off in chapter that the Christian guy was negative, not Christian guy, and we got rid of him really quick. And the pirate was still texting, calling every single day, but don't even know what that was about. I think that's the Lord keeping him in the bay, no pun intended, because that's where he lives. And then I went to a speed dating event, and I'm going to give a small recap on this, and it's going to be PG-11, so people can deal with it. It's not PG-13, it's just PG-11. I went to a speed dating event in person at a bar. Have you ever done that?
No.
Okay, so I went to the speed dating and I met several gentlemen, and it was like an app, and then you talk to people, and I talked to several gentlemen, and I had just had this really bad taste in my mouth from this so-called Christian guy in the app who totally wasn't Christian guy. And then I have this other guy who the Lord doesn't want me to date. I know that, but he's still calling and texting me every day and not really doing much more than that. It was just sort of silly. So I decided to take a big left swing. And I did take a very big 6'5" left swing with a gentleman that I met at the speed dating app.
Whoa.
And we had like instant chemistry. And I know that we talked about him. And I don't know if you've ever met someone out in the wild, not on the internet back in the day, and you know they're wrong for you. I mean, everything about them is just wrong for you. And I was like, yeah, Jesus, I need a hall pass. I'm going to chat with him. I'm going to put thumbs up on the dating app about him. He was trouble from the minute I saw him to the minute, like the whole time. And he had this macho alpha confidence that I haven't experienced in a very long time. And it wasn't chauvinistic. It was just like, I am confident that you like me and you and I are going to go out this weekend. And I just missed it. And there's something about being a little girl and having a 6'2" man pull up next to you on the couch, like put his arm around you and just be, I mean, I don't even want to use intentional. That's too good for him. No, he was like trying to play the player. Okay. And I had no problem. I had no problem with it. It's like riding a bike. Okay. It is like riding a bike. We are sitting there. I'm not going to share all the stories, but I spilled my drink and then he bought me another drink. And then I shouldn't have even been having one drink. My drink wasn't Coca-Cola. It was some mango fruity alcohol thing. And, I don't know. I don't even know. I have daughters. I have daughters that are serving in ministry. I have daughters that are doing godly things. And I'm sitting at a bar flirting with this gentleman. And gentleman's not even the word. I mean, he used verbs. He used verbs like to party. He used verbs like to go to Vegas. These are things that should never come out of a man's mouth if you're going to be going out with me. And I just was like, yeah, that sounds great.
Is this the time we
He
tell the
said,
audience that I actually eloped in Vegas?
yeah, you were the least Vegas person I've ever met. Like, and it wasn't
1000%.
in a hotel. You were on like a hillside.
No, we were, well, that was our pretend ceremony after for my grandma. But no, we were in like a thing that was called like the Little Chapel.
Where'd you get married?
I
I
did.
saw the picture. It was outside.
Oh, that was, no, that was my boss's, sorry, that was my husband's boss's house in Malibu. And we did that because we had eloped, but my grandma, who was 101 at the time, kept being like, "Oh, I know they eloped, but when is the wedding?" And so we did a pretend one for my grandma, literally for my
Now,
grandma.
where did you have your actual wedding?
Where did we elope to? Las
Yeah.
Vegas. I think it was called the Little White Chapel, something like that.
I mean,
And it,
you were
yeah,
so the least Vegas person. Would you agree? Like, I
yeah,
couldn't put
no,
you and Vegas in the same paragraph.
no, no, and no shame to Vegas, whatever. I just, it's not my thing personally.
It's not my thing, but I think it's first of all, no shame to Vegas because they make millions of dollars because
Yeah,
millions of people think it's their thing every day. But okay, so this guy had like a backwards baseball cap on. This is what we're dealing with. Uh like just so confident. He's like, we're gonna go out on Saturday. He's putting his
yeah.
arm around me, and he leaned over and laid a kiss on me in the bar. In the bar. I know it. I haven't kissed anyone in 12 years. I was shocked. I was like, is this how the kids are doing it? I was so surprised and like processing all of this. And he doesn't know he's 42. And he's like, that's of course how the kids are doing it. You kiss some girl that
Right.
you like in a cute little bar with twinkle lights and it's the summer. And I'm like,
Oh, well,
I know how this
that's like
plays, right? I
New
played this
York
game before.
City,
And so,
Columbus Avenue.
oh,
Like you've
I
got
mean,
mail.
seriously, let me look at the cookbooks. Love you, Joshua Cohen. But anyway, so I didn't feel anything bad about it or whatever. He walked me to my car. He kissed me goodnight. I just felt so exciting. It felt so alive. I felt
Yes.
like I had hormones that work. Now I am also on hormone replacement therapy, and
Mhm.
I think the testosterone was really kicking in, like the cream that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, are
Yeah.
you on it, or
I
or
am.
do you just know about it?
No, I am on it. So everyone in the world, just so you know, there is a testosterone cream that you get when you're um slightly older, lady, not middle aged, and you click it and it's prescribed and you put it on your inner thigh one inner thigh, and the next day the other inner thigh. There you go.
Okay, and it's supposedly, from what I've heard from my single friends, is a great energy, but it also gives them a libido. If you're not married, it's a problem. If you're married, it's not a problem. And I'm not married, and so I don't know. So I drove home just giggling, like giggling with my G. I'm like, I cannot believe I kissed this guy, and like he lifted me up on the curb. It's 6'5", and he like
Yeah.
lifted me up on the curb, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I wish that these internet guys would, I'm gonna use your words, grow a pair,
Uh-huh.
right? And
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
so
Uh-huh.
no shame. And all that to be said, the pirate is still texting me every day and calling me every day. And I'm like, why? Why are you even doing that? So I said yes. Then the 42-year-old called me at 12 o'clock and made sure I got home okay and just so confident.
Uh-huh.
It's like, you want to go out on Saturday? I'm like, why? I don't mind if I do. Everything
Uh-huh.
about this is going to be wrong.
Right.
Everything about this
Right.
whole date is going to be
Uh-huh.
wrong. I know it. His
Uh-huh.
expectations
Uh-huh.
are wrong of me. I didn't tell him
Mhm.
I'm a Christian. I didn't tell him I'm a
Uh-huh.
comedian. Oh, he knows I'm a comedian. Everything about this, not like sinful wrong, but just kind of like,
Right. Right.
I need a hall pass, Jesus. I need a
Right.
hall
Right. Right.
pass.
Right.
I want the listeners to know how much of a chastity belt I wore. I wore Spanx and like a huge padded bra that covered everything. The armor of God was on
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
full effect. Not that there was any issue with that, but I just want our listeners to
Right.
know I still need to play by the same rules that my daughters play
Yeah.
by. So I was armored up.
Things were locked up tight.
I was lock and key. Okay. So I drove home like giggly and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I kissed a boy. He's 42, but it was
Right.
fun. It was like really fun. And then, so
Sure.
for the next couple days, he texted me and I'm like, I don't want it. Do I want to go out with you? I don't even, we have nothing in common. It would be better if we just don't go out and we just don't talk. And you can take me to a bar and you can kiss me goodnight again. And I know that's going to be the last thing that we ever do. But he is a secular man. And my friends were like, honey, that's not what he's expecting to happen on your date, just so you know. And I'm like, but I can take care of myself. I'm like a big girl. Like there's nothing I can't handle. Like
Yeah.
I'm
And to
I'm
all our
very I'm
secular
very
dude friends out there, who I know many, I don't think all secular dudes are like, first date, gonna get laid. You know what I
when
mean?
I say secular, I don't know what to call him. I want to call him somebody who has not secular. Well, let me go back. This guy's moral code is I hook up with girls. Like he
Okay.
basically told me they went to
Oh,
Vegas and they hooked up with girls. And I said yes to going out with him again. It was like literally like a pheromone
gotcha.
chemistry response of like, yeah, you're trouble. And I just have been so cooped up in 12 years of sexual sobriety and complete eunuch life, right? Complete
Yes.
eunuch life. And then besides that, I had a marriage that was troublesome. So I
Right.
wanted to
And
go and just have fun.
totally. And your periods come back, which means your ovaries are dropping eggs like, let's do this.
Girl, yeah, I started getting my menstrual cycle again,
Mhm.
because the Lord has a really good sense of humor. And
Yeah.
all I went to Italy and the eggs are, I mean, and I did want to tell the listeners that you told me on the phone the other day, if I were ever to get pregnant, you would raise the child as your own. And I think that's what friends are for. I really do.
1000%. I
I
would be
would
so
take
excited.
and I would hope it would be a girl, and I would be the best aunt. So I'm 52. Let's just put it in the I am 52. And so I haven't done anything scandalous or bad or anything. It felt
Mm-mm.
good to
Nope.
just like be a little bit bad. I
Hmm.
almost just was like, no regrets, Jesus. It was fun. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Friday rolls around and Saturday morning, and I go to the farmer's market, and Pirate is like texting me, and Pirate was like, so have fun on your date tonight. And I texted you, and I'm like, I think Pirate discovered how to listen to our podcast. I think he somehow, or the internet, or
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ, my Savior, had told him. I never told him I was going on a date, but it's been 2 weekends since our last date, and he was like not asking me out again. And I'm like,
I
I
love
can do
you
whatever I
so
want,
much
but
because you are so trusting that you're like, maybe he's heard our podcast or blog, as he calls it. I would be like, oh my gosh, someone is stalking me. I need a burner phone immediately.
I mean, he's so analog, he doesn't even know what a podcast is. But I figured
Totally.
it's been 2 weekends and I told him I was going out. And when I went out to
Gotcha, gotcha,
speed dating, he
gotcha.
said, what are you doing? And I wrote him back, HMMMM. Because I was like, you know what? You don't need to know me. You don't need to know. You haven't earned any place in my life, little Captain Jack Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so
So
I
creepy.
was
Jack Sparrow. Oh, FYI. I
Yeah,
digress.
okay.
Keep
Well,
going.
it's a movie. But anyway, not Johnny Depp, just Captain Jack Sparrow. And so anyway, I'm getting ready for my date. I go to my friend Tammy's house. She's totally
Mm-hmm.
like, your Life 360 needs to be on and you have to behave yourself. You have to like blah blah. I'm like, I'm a grown woman. I've gone on a million, like I know what I'm doing. And it wasn't even a romantic date. He's like, do you want to meet up? It was a meet up at 7 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, this is trouble. And it was almost like I could just hear God being like, yeah, I told you it was trouble. I never said it wasn't going to
Uh-huh.
be
Uh-huh.
trouble. And you're
Uh-huh.
the one that's going on this date. And I didn't bless it. I'm like, Jesus, we don't need to be talking right now. Okay. Like, I trust me. Okay. Like, I'm fine, Jesus. So I took an Uber so he wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
walk me to my car and kiss me goodnight.
Nice.
That was the plan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Was it? Was it, Susie? So I get to the bar.
Yeah.
This is my life. This is how low I've sunk. I get to the bar at 7 o'clock, and he had texted me he was 5 minutes late. Okay. So I'm like, I'm gonna go order a fruity drink at the bar. And I'm standing there, and Susie, this is the depths. This is how low my life has gotten. Someone came up behind me and smacked me on the butt at the bar. And it was him. That was his greeting to me. And I didn't leave. I didn't even have the respect for myself to just walk away. Like it was so bad. Like I know your feminist blood is like, I get it. I know it's all
No,
it's I can see your
I just genuinely, I wouldn't even have thought about it. I think I would just sort of, my instinct would be like self protect and like reach around and grab that pair of balls and like squeeze him until he faints.
I mean, I think I knew it was him. I sort of like, it was just like a quick, and
Instinctually knew.
he's so big, right? He's like this big guy. And I dated
Sure. Sure.
wrestlers that were 5'8" and 5'9" and, all this
Sure.
stuff. I mean, some taller
Sure.
guys. Anyway, most of my boyfriends under 5'10". And
Yeah.
so we sat and I was so like nervous and we're giggly. And I'm like, just this is not a rom-com. There is nothing. It's like even less than the other date. And the pirate had texted me earlier, I hope you have fun in your date. And I'm like, I can't talk about this without my lawyers present. And he goes, oh,
Right.
are the lawyers on your podcast? So I was like, I know
Uh-huh.
that he's listening to my podcast, but the episode hasn't dropped that I'm going on a date yet. But he's just figuring, like, he just knows that I'm going to date. So
He's just
we end
tracking
up
your
having,
phone.
oh God, he doesn't know how to do that. He has an analog. He has Android. We're both Android people. We don't know how
Yeah.
to do anything.
Come on.
So this date was everything that I expected it to be.
Okay.
And there was hanging out and having a couple drinks and kissing with this guy. And
Mhm.
it ended with me going in an Uber and me thinking, why did I even do that? And my Life 360 told my friend Tammy I was in an alley and she was sending me Bible verses and Bible verses about sexual immorality. And she was like, if you don't text me back, I'm sending Ron, your ex-husband, your location, and I'm sending him to come get you because I wasn't checking my phone. And so I have these string of flee from lust and sexual immorality, and I'm kissing a semi-stranger on a Sacramento street corner, deciding what my future is going to entail. And so basically, I get in an Uber, I had two whatever drinks and I'm driving home and the pirate has texted me and he's like, I hope your date is enjoying your company. And I had it with him. I had it and I was like, well, and I called Tammy and she goes, you better not call that pirate. The last thing you need to do is call that pirate. Don't you dare call that pirate. And I was like, I'll be right back. I gotta call the pirate.
Call the pirate.
So I texted the pirate at 11 o'clock. You should never do anything after 11. There's bad juju, okay? It's a Christian juju. You don't do that. And I had said, listen, I've had it with you. I'm calling you. And he's like, oh, I'd love to hear from you. I'm like, oh, I bet you would. It's 11:45 when I call this boy, and I have had it up to here, okay? And I'm like, listen, me talk, you listen, you don't say anything. And he's like, okay. And I was
Can
like,
I
you
just
drop the
time
ball.
out and just say, I love that it was 11:45 and not like back in the day when I feel like those phone calls traditionally took place at 3:25 a.m.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
this is my 3 a.m. today is 11:45.
Okay.
And it's not even drunk dialing.
It's barely dusk.
It was buzzed from 2 margaritas spot dialing, But to me, that's equivalent of 4 shots, right? Like to me, that was enough to be like, I'm gonna talk and you gonna listen. And he was like, okay, Kerri. I'm like, you drop the ball. And I let him freaking have it. I was like, I was on a date. Oh gosh, I almost just said his name. I was like, I was on a date, Dan. That's not his. And you know how many guys want to date me, Dan? 5. Okay, 5 other guys want to date me right now. And he's like laughing. And he's like, Kerri, we can talk tomorrow. I'm like, we don't need to talk tomorrow. We don't need to talk ever again because you don't want to talk to me. You've never even told me I'm pretty. Are you gay? Are you gay, Dan? And he's just like laughing. He's like, what? He doesn't drink, by the way, at all. He's never been drunk. He doesn't drink. He's never done drugs. He's not Christian. He's like a hippie who lives in the woods. And I was like, you don't even tell me I'm pretty. And I sent you a magazine article and you said you were going to read it. And it mentioned that I have breast cancer and you don't even care that I almost died last summer. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I sent you the Hollywood Reporter and I was the cover story and you said you were going to read it and you never even commented. He's like, I don't think I got that far. And I'm like, because you don't care about me, but why do you text me and you can't text me and you ruined my date and I should have been on a date with you, but you didn't ask. He's like, you're so busy all the time. I'm like, I wouldn't have been busy. I was like, don't give me excuses, Dan. And I was like, so that oh my gosh, like I went off on him in like an inappropriate slash flirty slash two margaritas in. He didn't get a word in. He was just like, Kerri, I think we need to talk tomorrow. I'm like, I think we need to talk never, Dan. And he was just like kind of laughing at me. And I'm like, okay, so bye. And I texted him, goodbye, good night, forever. Okay, that is literally what I texted him. And I woke up the next morning, of course, because I'm 52, I wake up at 6 a.m. no matter what happens in my life. My body clock wakes up. And I
Uh-huh.
had a
Uh-huh.
28-minute phone call with him. A 28-minute phone call where I don't think he said 5 words. I don't think he said 5 words. And I'm like, and my head is like a freight train that got run over. And the date from last night did not even call me to see if I got home okay or text me. So Tammy's like freaking out. Tammy knew I got home last night. She's like, you did not call that pirate. I was like, I guess I did. She's like, this is bad, Kerri. This is bad. And she's like, block baseball cap guy. Block
Uh-huh.
that guy. So I blocked him because he's just inconsequential. Like, you don't even call a girl to see if she got home okay. It was just the whole thing. I got it out of my system. I'm like, Jesus, I took a left swing. I took a right swing. I got off all the dating apps. I even took Instagram because I have my fake boyfriend on Instagram, who, by the
Mhm.
way, messaged me last night. My
Oh,
fake
of course you
boyfriend,
did.
the one I'm talking about, the influencer. It
Yep,
wasn't
yep, yep.
anything flirty, but and I'm like, okay, Jesus, I I felt like I felt more convicted this morning for all the dating and all the nonsense and all of it because he reminded me that he didn't bless this. He didn't tell me to do any of this. When I was signing on the dating site, I didn't have peace like about it. It was almost like I could hear the Lord going, I didn't pick this site for you. I didn't pick this time for you. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, one of my videos this morning has gone viral again in Italy. Okay. And I texted you because Antonio texted me this morning and said, by the way, Mio, you're beautiful. And I said, how old are you, Antonio? And he said, a little younger. I'm 24. Okay. So now Satan has come back with the Italians again. It's like having a menstrual cycle. It just repeats every month. Like it's so bad. And the Lord, I just didn't even know what to do. And the pirate always texts me, and I mean always since a month ago, every
Mhm,
morning.
mhm,
He did not
mhm,
text me. I texted him twice this morning, something like funny to see if he no response.
mhm, mhm,
And Tammy was like, I think you hurt his feelings when you called him up and said, I'm
mhm.
dating 5 other people right
Well,
now.
thanks,
And I was
Tammy.
like,
I don't
okay.
already feel bad enough.
I mean, I didn't say I was dating 5 other people. I said 5 other people want to date me. I'm only dating 3 other people. And
Yeah.
he's dating zero. But he's not my guy. And so I go to church and I walk in the church and I felt so bad about myself this morning, not just for what happened last night, but for going out
Mhm,
of God's circle
mhm,
of blessing. And I mean this in a real way. Like, I went so far out of his circle of blessing that this whole thing distracted me from my time with him. It distracted me from prayer. It didn't bring me closer to him. It brought me further away from him.
mhm,
And I had to work through my own guilt, if I'm being honest, like my own
mhm,
guilt about it. God wasn't shaming me or anything.
mhm,
And I walk into church and there's one of the ushers who I don't really know. He's a nice gentleman and
mhm,
I don't know him and I may never know him. And he's like single. I've like sort of seen him and he said, hi, Kerri. I was thinking about you today. And I just want you to know that when you're not at church that we miss you. And it was like this, it's not about him, but it was
No, that
about
was
the
like a
Lord going,
yeah.
like a godly man. And so we had an altar call for like healing, and we always go down to the altar if we
Mhm,
want to pray. And I go down to the altar and I've got my hands in the air, and it was like the Lord God in heaven was like, this is where I need you. And if I have a life partner with you, he can find you.
yeah.
Okay? You keep your eyes on me. You share your heart with me. You share the intimate parts of you. You tell me the things that you can't tell anybody else. You stick with me like you've been sticking with me for the last 12 years. And if I have a life partner for you, he will have no problem finding where you are because you're always going to be in my will.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's great. I would like to say that this is a whole new experience and time in your life to begin dating again. So it makes sense to me, and I'm, even if I'm not saying it for you, I'm saying it for the greater world, right? It makes sense to me that navigating it again in a whole new way, it is likely, I mean, not for you, but I can say it for me, it is likely that it's going to be rocky. And I will just say, after my first marriage ended, no shame to my first husband at all, I was a shell. So like I know for me, beginning to navigate the dating thing again after my first married ended was so hard, and it was so challenging, and I left such a shell of a person. No shade to my ex-husband, that is just how I left. And I had been, because there was substance abuse in our marriage, if you are the person between the other person and the substance they want to use a lot or drink a lot, you, no matter what, hostility comes to you. And that's for any marriage. No one gets angry at their spouse like you do when you get married young. So I made some really huge missteps in that time period, partially because I didn't like to hurt people's feelings. So even if I didn't want to make out with someone or go, I couldn't not. Like, I just felt bad. I didn't want to hurt anyone because I knew what it was like to be hurt. You know what I mean? And that's so ridiculous. I understand. And also, the idea of being someone wanting to hold you or kiss you or be nice to you. I wrote this in a play once, how, like, what can happen, and this is a play that made me a writer, that, like, you get so used to someone being mean to you, or even you being mean to yourself, that I wrote about how, like, even if the barista at Starbucks was like, have a great day, I was like, is this the time I jump over the bar and make out with you? I don't know. I don't know. You know, it gets so blurred. And that has nothing to do with being a woman, actually. It just has to do with the experience of being married, it being painful, it not working out,
Well,
going through a season of experiencing, not being able to experience, having experienced love, yada, yada, yada. But I will say, I felt like the Holy Spirit was so constantly with me. And I was dating a guy, and this is between my first marriage and husband. I was walking to my car, and I knew usually how this went. I would end up in a really long, serious relationship, and it would either be leaning towards engagement or marriage. That was just like my MO. And I was walking to my car, and I was like in my head, oh my gosh, I'm probably gonna marry this jerk. This would have been marriage number two, to a jerk. And I am not kidding. I felt like the Holy Spirit goes, well, you don't have to. Like, literally, girl, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Like, it was so kind. And it was so like, I have given you options to be able to hurt someone's feelings, to not have to respond to an advance of someone so you don't hurt them. And like, I think
yeah, I
sometimes we can, you know
I
what I'm saying?
feel yeah, I feel like I've grown a lot through this, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, just to end the story today, I did not respond to the pirate. I did not
Mm-hmm.
fall, but I
Mm-hmm.
went to church and I prayed, and about 4 o'clock, I sent him a message, and it was a very, very long 4-minute message.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I said everything that I wanted to say. I said, I keep calling his name Dan. I said, Dan, I need to apologize to you because I'm a Christian, and I have not represented the way that I want to represent myself as a Christian woman to you. And I said hurtful things to you. And I left him this 4-minute message, and I said, you don't have to respond. I don't want anything from you. I'm taking a step back from all the dating, like all the
Mm-hmm.
guys. I told him, I said, from all of it. But I want to tell you, Dan, the one good thing that came out of this is I feel like I found a friend in you, and it's a little blurred lines
Mm-hmm.
about where we ever will be again. But
Yeah.
I know that you're a really great person and you deserve really great things. And we never talked about where we were going, and we should have had a conversation. But I think we intuitively knew that friends was where it needed to be. and
Yeah.
I just let it go. And I went to a church meeting tonight, and it was just so like for me, and the prayer was great. And after the meeting, he left me an audio message and he said, I'm so grateful. Your message brought tears to my eyes. And he said, I'm just so grateful that you shared what you shared. And I do agree that we deserve to be each other's friends. And you want to live in Orange County and I want to live in San Francisco, and you are going on tour. He never brought up the faith thing, which is so funny because it's such a huge thing for me. But he just had all these reasons. He's like, mainly, you don't want to live where I want to live, and we have different trajectories, and we live 2 hours apart. And I'm like, wouldn't the life have been just easier if we had just been like a little bit more mature and stopped flirting, texting me at 9:30 at night while I'm trying to date someone else? And we could have just like had the friend conversation. But I really appreciated, like, he has helped me be a better person in the dating space. He's the only good thing that's come out of it. I know we'll salvage a friendship. Right now, I'm probably just going to say to him, hey, I'm so glad to know you. I'm going to take a break and kind of go back with the Lord. And when I come back up for air, it might be a week, it might be a few weeks. I don't know. I would definitely love to chat with you. We're not going to do the everyday. Like, I can't give my heart away like that.
Yeah,
Like, the
because
Lord has just convicted me in a loving, graceful way to say, like, you, I'm his right now. I'm God's, and no man has earned that space. Do you know what I mean? And as much as I
yeah.
love the pirate and think he's adorable, he hasn't earned that space because he's not my guy.
So I think that's great. I think for a lot of us in life, when we begin something new and we get into it, and when our real life is hard or stressful, it's very easy to lean into things that are fun and light, and and that's incredibly understandable, actually. And we do have to have balance. We have to slow our roll so much in life and on so many things, right? And that is challenging. And I will say, I didn't make out with everyone that wanted to make out with me. You know, but I will say, I could not hurt anyone's feelings. That one time, I was still, I was still liking this ex-boyfriend of mine. And I was going on a date with I had been going on some dates with this really nice guy. And I knew he really liked me. And, but it just, when you're like still on the person before, nothing scandalous happened, nothing like that. And I remember I did not want to hurt his feelings so much. I think I told him, I'm sorry, I really like you too. I just think I might be pregnant. So I understand if you don't want to get it. Literally though, but here's the deal. I wasn't, I wasn't having sex with anyone. I'm not even sure I was celibate. I just so deeply didn't want to hurt his
You're the,
feelings. So I
I
was like,
mean,
how can I make myself so unattractive? Oh no, it's a
I
reconnecting.
mean,
But
you're a
so
writer. You're a
like
writer. You made up a fake baby. I mean, I love it. I mean,
how
Meisner.
how,
Uh,
what was wrong with me that I genuinely could not be honest at the thought of hurting someone. So I tried to make myself so as unappealing to a straight 20 something guy as possible.
I mean, you could have done so many things STD, but you went big with the baby.
I
I mean, you could have
did.
been like, I have a gonorrhea, chlamydia, but you went big. You're like 2.0
But like,
pregnant. Yeah, the
but
father's
what
in the
a
mafia. Like,
liar. But like, what a liar.
I
And
mean,
I
I
sometimes
think
think
I
like
love you more than I
that
ever have.
is,
I really do. I think we need to end it. We're gonna end our dating talk on that cliffhanger. Was
yeah.
she pregnant?
No.
How did she have the immaculate conception? Um,
But isn't that so sad? And that's
I
why I've
mean,
learned so much from God over the years of dating and marriage and all these things. And just that reality that God deals with the motivations of our heart. I think God was far less concerned with the fact that I lied to hurt a guy's feelings and not that, like, baby girl, why are you so afraid of being honest? What, what, just,
and
what do
I
you
think
think it's going to do?
like everything that I've gone through, he's like, Kerri, you've gone so far. It's like I could write a book chapter called Cheating on God, because like you've gone so far away with your love affair for me that all these other shiny objects over here, these little shiny boys, are like an idol. Like they've
Hmm.
become an idol. And you think about them when you wake up, and you think about them when you go to bed, and you talk about them, and they're these shiny toys. And I need to be number one. Like I just
Hmm.
have to be your solid. So when that partner comes into your life, you are so solid with me that you're able to enter into a covenant relationship with somebody that's flawed and broken and fragile, and you're going to be ready, and you're going to be undistracted from
Hmm.
that guy, and you're going to be able to see him, because maybe I wouldn't even recognize him right now. And
Hmm.
I'm making a prediction. It's now July 2026. I don't think that it's a million years away. Like in my heart
Yeah,
of hearts, I don't think I just have this feeling in my gut that the Lord is opening up these feelings because somebody could be potentially relationship worthy coming into my life. And so
totally.
it doesn't mean I'm going to go shopping for him, or maybe I will. I don't know. But God's like, this wasn't me. Like
Yeah.
the hinge wasn't me. The Facebook dating wasn't me. I don't think the speed dating was bad. I had fun. But it's like
Mhm.
God's like, I just need to be number one. It's like you said, like if God's number one, then we're not going to be afraid of hurting people or whatever. We're just going to be like I'm not your girl. Like move on. But
Yeah.
so speaking of moving on, what is our beauty
Yes.
product tonight?
So the beauty product is this. I don't know. It's probably backwards, but it's Handle with Care Beauty Clinic
Handle
Insight
with care.
Micro Infusion Facial System. I don't know how to spell the name of it. It's Q. We know how to spell it. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Where'd you
Qure.
get it?
I saw an Instagram ad, and that's where I
And
got
it's
it. So
like a
it's micro.
skincare set.
It's gonna. I'm gonna do this to my face with a thing that has needles in it. It's gonna
Oh,
tighten
it's a
things up.
micro needling.
Yeah, because I'm
I
off the
love micro
Botox right now.
needling.
I know. I'm very excited. There's so many too. I feel like we can do so many things on this topic because I just want to also. I want to protect my friend from all the shade she or we might get from all the 16-year-olds that or 19-year-olds or 22 that got year old people that got married at that age and are maybe 25. I just want to remind you all, okay? When you are 16 and your parents are creating boundaries for you and they're signing that like you're emancipated thing so you can get married, okay? Just slow your roll in the judgment department, okay? That's number
Of
one.
the 52-year-old that's making out at a bar.
Yeah. I mean, hey girl, she's still got it. Okay. Okay.
I mean, it's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, because I know we put so much pressure on sexuality and making it so taboo, and then you get married, and then it's like the women I know that are struggling, that are single and hormonal and love the Lord, are like, what am I supposed to do with all these feelings? And then I have the exact same friends that are in their 40s, and they're married and they're hormonal, and they're like, what am I supposed to do with all these feelings? I haven't seen my husband in 3 months. Like, it's like this weird, it's such a yin and a
Yes.
yang, and God loves all of us. He loves
Yes. And
all
it,
of us, and he loves that you're going to put needles in your face, and I'm going to put needles in my face, and I want to give you a compliment. I was going to
mhm,
have this procedure. It was called threads, okay? And I was going to have it. And all my friends in Sacramento, every
mhm.
single one of them was like, I'm worried about you. That seems so extreme. Why would you do that? And my girl Susie was like, yes, I've already researched it. It looks awesome. You should definitely do that. That is the
Yes.
difference
Hmm.
between Los
Yes.
Angeles and Sacramento. Los
Yes.
Angeles friends are like, do it. Absolutely. Whatever Anne Hathaway is having is what I'm having. And
Totally.
Sacramento are
I,
like,
I mean,
God loves you just the way you are. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. There's always room
yeah,
for improvement. Okay. Until
there's
we're in the
always room
Garden
for
of Eden.
improvement. And I'm a phenomenal enabler. I'm so good
I
at
love you
it.
so much. Well, we are so grateful for our listeners tonight. We're
Yes.
both going to put needles in our faces. And we want you to follow us at our Instagram and our Facebook and Amazon and Spotify and YouTube and all the places. Give us a shout out. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Let me know your dating stories. I need to hear them because I need encouragement. And so, I think we're back to square zero on the dating calendar. But there is a man named Antonio who's 24 and he's currently in Venice and he says I'm his mi amore. So
Oh
that
my
is
God.
how we're gonna end it. Me and Antonio
Awful.
are gonna run off together.
Totally. And I just want to say a 24-year-old dude is such a freaking nightmare. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be sorry. Forgive me, Lord. I know. I find those ages between like 19 to 37 deeply annoying. I do. Always have. Since
I
I
know,
was
but
in
I don't.
driver's education, since I got my first ticket. Honestly, and I was in driver's ed or whatever you get when you have a ticket so your insurance doesn't go up. I can't even remember what it's called. But that is when I learned that I found the age group totally insufferable. And so from that day on, I never dated anyone under 50. Just kidding.
Well,
That is not
my
true.
dating pool is 44 to 55. I think
Yeah,
that's where I'm landing because 44 can still be real cute as long as they
totally.
know my music. But so you're gonna go do your needles and we're
Yep.
gonna talk soon. And if they know who Christopher Cross is, and I'm so proud of you for buying that. That's a very
Thank
important
you.
purchase. All right, we'll see
You
you
too.
guys next time.
Bye.